So what you're seeing on the screen is exactly what you see when you log in to couragematters.com/learn. Now there's something I want to show you because this is really cool here. And again, you can see my screen. You see if I go to couragematters.com, right? You can see that when I go to couragematters.com, right at the top on the right-hand side of the web page, it says member login. And when you click on that member login, you get to to enter your email address and your password that you used when you got Unstuck and Unstoppable in 30 days. And that's what gets you into the member area. So the beautiful thing is, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, all you need to do is go to couragematters.com and you can log into your content anytime. And somebody asked me a question earlier today. They said, hey, am I only allowed to access this content for 30 days? No, it's not Unstuck and Unstoppable for 30 days. It's Unstuck and Unstoppable in 30 days. And that's a great question that you asked. I want you to know that the idea is that I'm giving you about boatloads of stuff here for you to be able to get up to speed in a reasonable amount of time in 30 days. If you read, you watch, you look at things, you look through things, you can get up to speed in 30 days. All right. So that's why it's called Unstuck and Unstoppable in 30 days. It does not mean that you have to take 30 days. So here's what you see when you go to the members area at couragematters.com. You see here it says on my screen, 0 of 63 lessons completed. So if I were to go to number 1, these are numbered sequentially. Take a wild guess why they are numbered sequentially. Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Type it into the chat. You probably guessed it right. They're numbered sequentially. They're numbered sequentially because this is the order that you go through them. It's as simple as that. So when you see number 1 says start here, you're going to become unstoppable. So I'm going to click on that and you'll notice that there is a video, an instructional video, and some write-up here as well for you. Some of you like to read, some of you like to watch on a video, some of you like to do both. And right over here, I want to be able to show you how things are laid out. Whatever lesson you're watching, okay, it's highlighted on the right-hand side when you're in the members area, just like you're seeing right now.
I can't do both these at once.
Right? Go ahead and mute your audio, everybody. Go ahead and mute your audio on the lower left of your screen. So let me see, I might even be able to do that actually. Anyway, you guys are doing a really good job. You'll see on the right-hand side, whatever lesson you're in, whatever lesson I'm in is highlighted. And right below that, you'll see something that says files, okay? So this lets you see all of the lessons in section 1, and they are numbered 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 right now. One of them is what to expect, all right? And if you click on that video, hear that cool music. I'll let you watch that, okay? That is some great coffee, and you need to watch that video because it'll help you understand what to expect. Now over here, I added something today for you, which is how to save downloads to your computer, your tablet, or your phone. And the reason why I want to walk you through that, you can watch this video if you like. I want to walk you through this as well because it's so easy. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't realize it was that easy. We made it really easy for you. So when you go to the landing page of the members area, okay, you'll see the numbers of the sections, section 1, section 2, the book, Unstuck and Unstoppable in 30 days. You have the entire book that you can download onto your phone, your tablet, your computer, or you can do chapter by chapter walkthroughs. Each chapter stands alone right here. I'm looking at chapter 4, Future You, parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, you'll see that that's the entire book, and then you'll see number 3, the people you need and that you don't need in your life. And there's a download there for sages, sojourners, and students. And then there's a relationship detox, like Let me show you this, all right? You click on that relationship detox, and right where it says files, you'll see where it says files. You click on it, and it immediately opens the document up. It immediately opens the document up for you. And here's an example of a download. How to do a relationship detox. When is it time to cleanse yourself from toxic people? You know, there's a lot of buzz these days on you need to purge yourself of all the negative people in your life. But the only big problem with that is that if you purge yourself of all the negative people in your life, there's probably a good possibility that you are a little bit more negative than you realize. And if somebody did that to you, you'd be pretty lonely. And so a relationship detox is something that you do. It's a drastic measure that you take, but it can be done in a non-drastic way. Does that make sense what I'm saying? A relationship detox can be done in a non-drastic way. And that's what this walks you through. That's what this walks you through. Now, one of the things you want to be able to do is to be able to download this document. Maybe you want to read it later on. Maybe you're going to take a subway. You live in New York City. We used to love going into New York City when we lived close by. But maybe you want to download this document. You want to read it on your tablet, your computer, or even on your phone. You know, all of these downloads you can enjoy on your phone. Maybe you want to save this thing. Here's what you do. All right, here's what you do. You go up to File. Right now I'm using Firefox. You can do this with any of your browsers. Okay, whatever browser is your favorite browser. Maybe you like Google Chrome, maybe you like DuckDuckGo, maybe you like Safari, maybe you like Firefox. Whatever the case might be. Up at the top, just like here for Firefox, you're going to see a menu. And you click on File. And guess what you do? You click Save Page As. And when you do that, here's what I did. Look what I did here. This is my desktop. Let's say I want to save this on my desktop. Here's what I did. I created a folder. You can create a folder called Unstuck and Unstoppable. And that's what I did. I created one called Unstuck and Unstoppable, and then I have self-assessments. Now here, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Relationship Detox. Okay, so now I've got a folder on my desktop called Unstuck and Unstoppable and Relationship Detox. Now you can save this anywhere you want. Don't overcomplicate this, okay? Don't overcomplicate it. I just wanted to help you understand, because I know that some of us are really tech savvy, not me, really tech savvy, and some people are not so tech savvy. So this will help you. And then it's already called Relationship Detox. You hit save. Boom, there it is. So guess what happens? When I go to the desktop and I go to Unstuck and Unstoppable and I go to Relationship Detox, there it is. And I click on it and it comes up. There's the form. Right there is the form. So that's the beauty of this. This gives you the ability to download everything, all of the materials, keep them on your device, and pull them up whenever you're good and ready to use them however you'd like to. Now, one of the things I wanted to show you is the fillable forms. A fillable form means that it's a form that you can complete electronically, digitally. Now, let me show you this first of all. Let me show you this, the Relationship Detox. Let's say I downloaded the Relationship Detox, and I want to know what questions you have so far. I want to know what questions you have. So type them into the chat area, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Zoom. Let me know what question you might have so far, okay? So far, don't jump ahead, don't jump ahead. Just, I wanna make sure that you're tracking with me so far. Let's say you did exactly what I just did and you're done with the Relationship Detox. Watch, you mark as complete. It says completed. It will take you to the next lesson if you want to, okay? If you don't want to, look what happened here. It now shows you your progress. Lesson 1 of 63 lessons is completed. You can go at your own time, your own pace, and get as detailed as you want here, okay? Now keep in mind, right in the beginning, I've got a document here, how to save the downloads on your computer, but I'm showing you here as well. Now let's say you have a fillable form. Let's go to the self-assessments, which is number 4. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do section 1 first, the lessons in section 1. When you're done, you're going to do lesson 2, section 2, and all the lessons in section 2. Then you're going to do 3, and then you're going to do 4. So let's say you've come to the part where you're doing the self-assessments, and I want to show you this. Again, this is content information about the lesson. It's highlighted, the one that you're in. You can skip ahead if you want to, and it'll take you there. But you'll see right off to the right-hand side, it says Files. You click on Relationship Self-Assessment and watch, everybody. Come back to me. Stop multitasking. Come back to me. Watch what happens when I click on the download, which is where it says Files. There you go. The fillable PDF appears right on my device. Now, when I say fillable, here you go. Here's the date. You can type in the date that you did this fillable relationship self-assessment. So I'm going to put November 21st, 2022. And you can fill this whole thing and go right through the self-assessment. Now, you'll see, look at what it says here. Want to complete this self-assessment on your tablet or phone or your computer? Save it first. After saving it, reopen it, and you'll be ready to go. See, I made this so that if you just read and you just do what it says, it'll guide you right along. So let me show you again how easy it is to save this document. The reason why you want to save it first is so that you don't lose any information, right? You don't want to go through the self-assessment or whatever the fillable form might be, especially when you get to your goals section, setting goals, have all that great content entered, and then exit out, right? Like exit out of this browser and then say, oh my goodness, I forgot to save that. I forgot to save that. So the first thing you want to do is go up to File, save the page as, and look what I'm doing here. Unstuck and Unstoppable. I'm going to create, right? Here's the self-assessments. I created that folder, and then all I have to do is hit save, and it's saved. And then when I'm done, maybe I've entered more answers, I've completed the self-assessment, or maybe, you know, my train has arrived, I'm on the subway, my train has arrived at Grand Central Station, and I want to come back to this self-assessment, right? I would encourage you to try not to do that when it comes to the self-assessments, because sitting down at one time is going to be really helpful for you to get a burn going, to really be able to get some momentum going. But let's say you finish it, or you want to finish it later on. Then you hit Save Page As. You've already got it there. You've already got it named. Watch what happens. When you hit Save, it's asking you, it's saying, hey, you've got a file in a folder with the same name already. It already exists. Do you want to replace it, or do you want to cancel? And I'm just going to hit Replace, because that's going to update it. And then when I go to wherever location I save that file, here I've got Unstuck and Unstoppable. There it is for me to be able to enjoy. And now watch this. Remember how I was filling it out in the beginning? It saved my date. It saved my date. Is that ingenious or what? And you know why this is so awesome? I'll tell you why this is so awesome. Let me minimize that. And then I want to know what questions you have. This is awesome because, let me go to Zoom and let me go to, let's see here, YouTube. Hey, if you're a YouTuber and you want to ask me a question or anything, you can go over to Zoom. The reason why this is so awesome is that, can you imagine 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, going back and looking at your content from Unstuck and Unstoppable and saying, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see your comments, and seeing what your progress is. You're able to go back and you're able to say, wow, that's where I was 5 years ago in the area of relationships in my life, if that makes sense, right? Wow, that's where I was in regard to my health and my fitness. That makes sense. And you're able to have a digital record of exactly where you were. And of course, if you want to print these things out, you can print them out. That's the beauty of it. They're printable and they're electronic. So you can be old school if you want to. You can be new school if you want to, right? So constantly in the process of updating things and making them better and better and improving them more and more. Very helpful. Thanks. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that, George. And by the way, George was the one who made that great suggestion of what I just showed you, walking you through that. So that's proof positive. I'm a pretty teachable guy. I am here to set you up for success. That's why I'm here. That's what it means to be part of the Courageous Nation. I'm here to set you up for success. And I can't do that if I don't give you my best shot, right? If I don't give you my best effort. And by asking a question, you never know who else might have the same question and they're just not sure. Does that make sense? I'd like to know what question or questions you might have. So let me pause. Let me look at Zoom to see if you have a question. If you're on Zoom, if you want to ask it verbally, you can give me a wave and you can unmute yourself and I will let you chime in. If you don't want to, if you just want to type it in, you certainly can do that as well. Okay. And I also want to check out, we got a little bit of a rivalry going on tonight. I want to check out our YouTubers as well. We got to check out our YouTubers. No YouTuber left behind. We got to make sure that our YouTubers are tracking as well. So YouTubers, Brian says, amazing. It's crazy, isn't it? What questions do you guys have? What comments do you have? YouTubers, what questions or comments do you have about Unstuck and Unstoppable? Any at all? I'm typing in couragematters.com. For those of you who maybe are joining late, you can watch on Zoom, participate in Zoom if you want to, or stay here on YouTube. But maybe you don't yet have Unstuck and Unstoppable. All you need to do, yes, Aaron has a question. Unmute your audio there, Aaron, on Zoom. You can go over to the landing page on couragematters.com and you'll see Unstuck and Unstoppable right there. You can get it today if you'd like. And here's the thing, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to serve you, all right? If you don't like Unstuck and Unstoppable, if you don't love it, you can keep all of the downloads. You can keep them. I'll give you a full refund. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to help you. This is the course that I created as a result of hitting rock bottom in my life, emotionally and even spiritually, psychologically, and realizing that the same old stuff that I was being told as a recovering pastor, right? Many of you know that I've not only spent time in the corporate world and helping executives, working alongside of VPs and in management myself, but also as a senior pastor of a church of about 1,200 people. And I refer to myself kind of half jokingly as a recovering pastor. Once you're a pastor, you're kind of always a pastor. So I like helping people. So if you don't like that, Aaron, do you have a question, Aaron Den?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, fire away.
Yeah. So first off, I just want to say that the affirmations have been fantastic. And the using your facial expression to signal wakefulness and energy and positivity. All that being said, I'm kind of hitting an obstacle with the identifying the chief passions in life and sort of defining that and crystallizing it. So what is the razor, if you will, that you used to identify what your top priorities were, the chief things that you're passionate about in your life?
Now, put that into context for me. Now, before I start answering, everybody, I believe that is the correct link. couragematters.com/sample-affirmations. If you haven't gotten that yet, you can go ahead and get it. It's free, okay? It's free. So Aaron, you want me to share some of the things that, how I arrived at some of my passions? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. How did you, what criteria did you use to kind of narrow that down?
Okay. And tell me,
so like your top three.
And tell me where you're getting that prompting from. Are you in the section about your life passion, developing your life passion, prioritizing it?
Yes. And
Okay.
there's I'm a musician, so I love to perform, I love to play. Obviously that's not necessarily the big the best way to provide and to earn a check. So
Right.
so how does so you know, I want that to be a priority as well, but then obviously,
Right.
you know, identifying career and you know, different moves to make in that arena, how do I sort of narrow that down?
Great question. Great question. I appreciate you asking that. So Aaron is in the passion section, in the goal setting section of the Unstuck and Unstoppable program. And you may be there, you may not be there, but eventually you're going to come, everybody, to the section on passion, prioritizing your passion. And this would be a great thing to write down. It'd be a great thing to write in chat as well. Life is too short to pursue anything less than your passion. That's actually my personal motto. That's an original. That comes from me. I'm a writer. I write things. I like pithy statements. I think it's true. Life is too short to pursue anything less than your passion. Here's a few of the things that you can do to help you identify your passion. If time wasn't an issue, if money wasn't an issue, if you knew that you could succeed at whatever it is that you wanted to do, if success was guaranteed, what is it that you would do? What is it that you would do? You cannot get a 100% outcome with a 90% effort, everybody. And today, so many of us have been conditioned to think that we're going to make money while we're sleeping. We're going to automate life. You know, there's actually artificial intelligence that will write a blog post for you. I mean, it kind of totally defeats the purpose of why you, as a blogger, would have a blog in the first place. But on the one hand, I know what some of you are thinking too. Well, that's easy to say. You know, if I could succeed at anything and I wouldn't fail, what would I do? I would go confidently. I think it was Twain said, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. But when you have to put food on the table, you have a family and you have immediate needs, how do you do that? Well, the idea would be as quickly as possible, as consistently as possible, you would move from where you are to where you want to be. By the yard, it's hard. Inch by inch, anything is a cinch. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen instantaneously overnight, but it means that you have to have a clear direction of where you want to go in regard to your passion and work on it day by day by day by day by day by day by day. So that's some of the stuff that helps you understand your passion. I can tell you what else, right? And Aaron, as a fellow guitarist, I'm a guitar guy too. I don't know if you guys knew that. One of the things that will help you identify what your passion is, everybody, is it's the thing that you keep coming back to again and again. You think about it, eventually it comes up again, and you think about it. You maybe dream about it, you fantasize about it, you wish you could. You use statements like, if only, I wish I could, if things were different. That helps you identify what your passion is. Does that make sense, Aaron? Does that help, Aaron, what I'm saying there?
Yeah, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe it's something to write out, put it up on your mirror in your bathroom, perhaps. Life is too short to pursue anything less than your passion. So there you go. Okay, that's helpful. Let me switch over to YouTube now. Zoomers, if you have a question, I want you to put your hand up and let me know if you have a question, what question you have. I want to go over to YouTube. Brian has a question here. He says, can a toxic relationship be later restored? Can it be restored later on? The answer to that, now, first of all, if you download that relationship detox download, if you download it, I actually go through that question. I actually answer that question, Brian. So that's a great one. Now, I'd be a terrible teacher if I just said go download it and let it answer in that regard. The short answer is yes. A toxic relationship absolutely, positively can be restored. The big if is this. Has the person's toxic behavior that merited the severing of that relationship, the detox, Has their behavior changed? Has their behavior changed? For example, there are many people, especially in the codependent realm, especially in the drug and alcohol realm, there are, and even adrenaline addicts, there are people who will promise up and down, they will swear up and down, but this time it's different, this time it's different. And they'll be dry for a while, they won't drink, they won't do drugs, they'll seem to have their life together for a while, but then they have a relapse, And one of the reasons why people have relapses is because they don't have the support system around them. So a toxic relationship absolutely can be restored if the person's behavior has really changed, and number one, this is really important, what the person has done to surround themselves or to immerse themselves with the support systems that they need. For example, if they're an alcoholic, are they going to AA meetings pretty much religiously, meaning consistently? Because once an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. Once a pastor, you're always a pastor. Recovering, right? You're recovering alcoholic, recovering drug addict. So yes, the relationship can be restored, but you also need to make sure that the person has taken and is taking steps to recognize wholeheartedly the propensity that they have, the weakness that they have, and that they've taken steps, they're doing things and they've taken steps to strengthen what would otherwise be weak. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Brian, does that answer your question? It can be restored later on, but there has to be evidence. There has to be evidence supporting the claim, because if you enter too quickly back into a toxic relationship, you actually can end up enabling the person and weakening what would otherwise be their comeback, right? A setback always paves the way for a comeback, if that makes sense. So you want to be careful that in a toxic relationship, that the other person is really serious, really committed to making those changes and those adjustments, if that makes sense, all right? Hopefully that answers your question there, Brian. Let me know if that does. Other questions, YouTubers? It's an honor to be able to meet with you guys. It really is. I want to check out over on my Zoom call, see what questions you guys might have over there. Can you guys check to make sure that the sample affirmations is correct? What I provided, couragematters.com/sample affirmations. How are you guys enjoying? Why don't you guys give me a thumbs up, wave to me. How are you enjoying Unstuck and Unstoppable? How are you enjoying that? And whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Zoom, I would love to hear from you guys as a means, full disclosure, as a means of showing other people how the course is helping you. What is a particular thing that you've started to do, or a particular thing that you've stopped doing that has changed your life, What you can do is you can send us an email, info@couragematters.com. Of course, you can do it at couragematters.com up in the contact area. But if you just send us an email and say, hey, here's how Unstuck and Unstoppable is helping me. If you have a testimony, let us know. Okay? Now, Chaz, you said you couldn't get it to load. What are you referring to? Are you referring to what? Let me know. The detox aspect. Now, you want to make sure, folks, with your browser that you don't have blocking software enabled. And that's something that I can't really get into because I'm not a techie guy, right? Maybe you got people where you're working. Maybe you've got a friend of yours. If you've got kids, guess what? Kids are great people to ask. They're great people to ask. They're more tech savvy than we are. The affirmations. You want to make sure you don't have, let me just check here. Yeah, there they are. Let me try this. I'm going to put up a link for you. Here's the link. There it is. And you should be able to do that. You should be able to put your name in there and everything, and be able to get the download. If it's not loading on your computer, it's probably an issue with either antiviral, anti-spy software that you might have, or the way you might have your browser set up. Chaz, does that help? Does that help with get you where you need to be, buddy? I might not have typed in the link correctly. Let me do it here too on Zoom. There's the link. There's the link for everybody for the free sample affirmations. Download that. Download that. What questions do you have? George says, I reviewed my goals again as a result of having written them down and returning to the pages where blanks were filled in. So is that a question? I review my goals again. Let me know if that's a question, George, or are you just making a statement? I remember. Okay, so would love to know if you have a comment that you want to make. Put your hand up. I can call on you. I can unmute you and perhaps help you. That's what I'm here for. We're almost done with tonight's live stream. Chaz, so glad that that helped you. Everybody, make sure you go get those sample affirmations, because let me throw in a little something here, okay? As a recovering pastor, as a Christian, I'm not perfect. I'm trying to do the best that I can. I've got regrets in my life as well. I didn't represent the architect as well as I could have in multiple areas of my life, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let that hold me back, right? I'm not going to let that hold me back. What you can do is recognize that we're told in Scripture, whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is praiseworthy, whatever is excellent, think about such things. Sample affirmations, doing affirmations, actually can help you take your thoughts captive, because elsewhere in Scripture it says we take captive every thought and make it obedient. We make it obedient to God. We make it obedient to God, which means this: not every thought is automatically obedient. In fact, the majority of thoughts, until you retrain your mind and recover from that stinking thinking, which we all suffer from, the majority of your thoughts are not honoring, and they don't move you forward. They actually can hold you back. And so sample affirmations are a great way. They're a fantastic way to help you focus, because remember, you cannot focus on a negative thought and a positive thought simultaneously. One has to give way to the other, and the only way you stick with it, is by having thoughts in your mind that are intentional, that squeeze out the negative thoughts, the stinking thinking, and those thoughts that are holding you back. Because it's very important, everybody, because your thoughts are what are creating your emotions. Your emotions are what creates your motivation or your lack of motivation. Everything you do in life is because you're motivated. Everything you don't do in life is because you're not motivated. Well, that motivation comes from or lacks as a result of your emotional state. So your thinking creates your emotions, creates your motivation, which creates your choices and your habits. And all of those things together, the choices that you have, the habits that you make, the thinking that you have that's creating the emotions and the motivation, all of those things accumulate to create what is known as, take a wild guess, everybody, what is it? What does all that stuff come together to create? Type it in the chat section there. Type it in the chat section. Come on back to me. What do all those things together, added together, what do they create? Type it in the chat area. Don't be shy. What do they create? What do they create? I'm not going to give you the answer. I want one of you guys to take a risk and to put it in the chat area. What does the accumulation of your thoughts and your emotions and your motivation and your choices, what do those things add up to make? I'm getting ready. And now I'm going to put it in there now. I just posted it on Zoom first. I just posted it on YouTube. Your life. Your life is comprised of the choices and the decisions that you make, which are the result of your motivation or lack of motivation, which is the result of how you feel, your emotions, your mood, which are the result of your moods, your emotions are the result of your thinking. When you change your thinking, you change your emotions, which in turn changes your motivation, which in turn changes the choices that you make, the decisions that you make, and this is what makes your life. All right? So listen, if nobody has any other questions, you can always, again, info@couragematters.com. I'd love to hear your story about how Unstuck and Unstoppable is helping you. If you want to get it, you can get it right there on the link at couragematters.com. Absolutely unconditional money back guarantee. If you don't love it, I'll give you a complete refund. No questions asked, and you can keep all of the downloads. You really can. You really can. I don't know how to be more genuine than that, you guys. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm trying to serve you. All right. So listen, hopefully this has helped you. I'm going to be adding new material continually to Unstuck and Unstoppable. You have it for your lifetime. You probably know, think of a family member or a friend. Black Friday's coming up Friday. That's why they call it Black Friday, right? This would be a great course to give maybe to your children. Maybe you've got a teenager who's struggling. Maybe your spouse is struggling. Maybe you've got a BFF, a best friend who's struggling. Maybe you got somebody at work who's struggling, or maybe even your boss and they're struggling. It would be a great gift to give somebody. Great gift to give somebody. It's really the gift of a new life. That's what it is. It's the gift of a new life. All right. So I can't do any more than I'm already doing, but I'm going to do everything I can to be in your corner, cheer you on, and to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. All right, mark your calendar. We'll do it again the same way, since this was a first test run with using Zoom and YouTube simultaneously. It's amazing. I'm going to put the Zoom video up on YouTube, because by doing that, people who are on YouTube will actually be able to see the screen share. Again, you can't do that on YouTube in an easy way. We tried for a long time today to get that to happen. We spent hours, and it's just not easy to do on YouTube, because that's not what YouTube is designed to do for screen sharing, but Zoom is. So we'll put the screen share and the Zoom recording up on YouTube so that you can watch it anytime, share it with your family and your friends. And mark your calendar again, 8 o'clock in the evening, next Monday night. I'll be doing another one. Give somebody the gift of a new life. Get them unstuck and unstoppable. The title says it all, you guys. The title says it all, right? All right, well, listen, I'm here for you. Love you guys. Appreciate you. So glad that this is helpful. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. In the meantime, it's Michael Anthony, yours truly, reminding you to keep looking up. There's no place else worth looking, and keep moving forward. I'll see you next Monday, 8 p.m. God bless you.